Listen to me carefully. This message is speaking directly to you. Not to the crowd, not to everyone, but to you who has been trying again and again, praying repeatedly, working tirelessly. Yet nothing seems to shift the way it should. You are not lazy. You are not cursed beyond restoration. You are not failing at life. Something has interfered with your forward motion, and until that movement is restored, progress will continue to feel slow and heavy. No matter how hard you push, you have noticed it yourself. You prepare, you step forward with expectation, you feel close to a breakthrough, and then suddenly everything pauses. The opportunity goes silent, the call never arrives, the agreement collapses at the final moment. People promise and then vanish. You restart, hopeful again, but the same cycle repeats. This is not coincidence. Patterns are a form of spiritual communication, and your life has been speaking for a long time. I want you to grasp something vital. Progress is not effort alone. Progress is movement, and movement happens through steps. If the steps are disrupted, the destination becomes delayed. You may pray for the destination, but if the path itself is altered, arrival becomes difficult. This is why some people work harder than others, yet move slower, and the frustration becomes overwhelming. You are not imagining the resistance. You are not overanalyzing it. There is a reason it feels like something unseen is slowing you down. Life is not meant to feel like wading through thick mud every time you try to advance. When movement feels heavy, when stepping forward drains you, when exhaustion comes before results, it is often a sign that something has attached itself to your journey. I am speaking to you who has felt stuck in one place longer than expected. To you who keeps wondering why others move faster with less effort. To you who has ability, ideas, faith, and discipline, yet doors keep delaying. This message is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to reveal what prayer alone may not have uncovered yet. Many people believe spiritual attacks arrive loudly, violently, or dramatically. That belief is false. Most spiritual interference is quiet. It hides in ordinary things. It hides in daily routines. It hides in objects you touch every single day. That is why so many miss it. They search for problems far away while the interference is close to them. Before anything else, pause and be honest with yourself. How long have you been walking without arriving? How long have you been moving without progress? How long have you been busy without reward? These are not accusations. They are signals asking you to become aware. Nothing about your life is random. Nothing about your delay is meaningless. When progress is blocked repeatedly, it is often because the enemy does not confront your prayers directly. The enemy targets your movement, and movement begins from the ground up. What touches the ground with you matters far more than you have been taught. This message reached you because the solution is closer than you think. The issue is not as complicated as you feared. It is not about doing more. It is about correcting something simple yet powerful. Once that is adjusted, things begin to flow again naturally, without constant struggle. As you continue reading, your perception of everyday life will begin to shift. Some objects carry spiritual weight. Some items attract interference easily. And one of the most targeted, most overlooked, and most misused objects spiritually is something you use every single day without a second thought. This will be revealed step by step. Movement will be restored carefully. What does not belong to your journey will be removed. As this unfolds, you will begin to understand why your effort has not matched your results and why your steps are about to change. Now pay close attention, because this is where many people miss it. Shoes are not just clothing. Shoes are not fashion statements. Shoes are not ordinary items. Spiritually, shoes represent direction, authority, and permission to move. This is why in spiritual encounters, shoes are often removed or specifically mentioned. What you walk with determines how you arrive, where you arrive, and what follows you when you arrive. Every journey you have ever taken was walked into. Careers are walked into. Relationships are walked into. Opportunities are walked into. Even mistakes are walked into. Movement is never random. It is guided, protected, or attacked, depending on what is attached to your steps. Shoes sit between you and the ground, acting as a bridge between destiny and the earth. The ground represents systems, territories, and realms. When your shoes touch the ground, they interact spiritually with where you are headed. This is why certain places feel heavy while others feel peaceful. Shoes absorb spiritual environments. They carry residue from where you have been and influence how you enter the next place. This is why authority has always been linked to footwear. In ancient understanding, giving someone shoes was a sign of sending them with permission. Removing shoes was a sign of humility, surrender, or separation. Shoes symbolize the right to step into something. When that right is tampered with, movement becomes restricted. Witches and spiritual manipulators understand this principle deeply. They do not waste time confronting your prayer life directly. They attack your movement. They aim to slow you, confuse your direction, or keep you walking in cycles. If they interfere with your shoes, they interfere with your journey without touching you. This explains why many experience repeated near success. They get close, but never fully arrive. Something always changes at the last moment. This is not because they are unqualified. It is because their movement has been altered. The path itself has been interfered with before arrival. Shoes carry agreements without spoken words. Where your shoes have traveled, what they have touched, and who has handled them matters spiritually. You may not have spoken anything, but movement itself can activate agreements if the shoes are compromised. This is why spiritual hygiene matters as much as physical cleanliness. Many clean their homes, cleanse their bodies, wash their clothes, yet never consider what carries them forward. They anoint their heads but ignore their steps. They pray for open doors but overlook what they use to walk through those doors. This teaching is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create awareness. Awareness restores authority. When you understand that shoes are spiritual tools, you stop treating them casually. You become intentional about what touches your movement. As you read, your understanding sharpens. You begin to see that your delay was not due to lack of effort or faith. It was because something interfered with your permission to move freely. And when that permission is restored, progress accelerates without strain. Now that the spiritual meaning of shoes is clear, it becomes important to understand how negative attachments and black magic are placed on them without awareness. Most people assume black magic requires dramatic rituals or obvious actions. That assumption is incorrect. Most spiritual interference is subtle. It enters through ordinary interactions, everyday exchanges, and moments you do not question. That is why many are affected without knowing when it began. One of the most common entry points is gifted shoes. When someone gives you shoes, they are not only giving an object, they are transferring intention. If the giver carries jealousy, resentment, competition, or hidden bitterness, that emotion can attach itself to the item. Not every giver is evil, but not every giver is spiritually clean. This is why some gifts bring delay instead of happiness. Second-hand shoes are another major access point. Shoes that have walked another person's journey can carry spiritual residue you know nothing about. You do not know their struggles. You do not know their battles. You do not know their covenants or conflicts. When you wear what carried someone else's movement, you can unknowingly carry fragments of their burden. Borrowed shoes are even more dangerous on a spiritual level. Borrowing shoes is borrowing direction, even temporarily. It is stepping into another person's path, even for a short moment. If that person is blocked, confused, delayed, or under attack, their condition can transfer. This is why some feel fine, borrow something, and later feel heaviness or confusion. Another common method involves shoes left outside for long periods, especially overnight. Shoes left exposed can be touched, observed, or spiritually marked without your awareness. You may wake up and wear them again, unaware that something attached itself while you slept. Spiritual attacks often target moments when alertness is low. Shoes can also be interfered with through careless handling. When too many people touch your shoes, joke with them, step on them, or move them around, negative energy can be introduced. Not everyone who touches your belongings wishes you well. Some people smile at you while quietly competing with you. Emotionally heavy seasons are another open doorway. Shoes worn during times of intense stress, grief, betrayal, or fear can absorb that emotional weight. If spiritual manipulation occurs during such periods, it attaches more easily because your defenses are already low. This is why certain shoes feel heavy even though they appear normal on the outside. There are also shoes that become linked to repeated failure. You wear them to interviews that do not succeed. You wear them to meetings that fall apart. You wear them on trips that end in disappointment. Over time, those shoes become connected to blocked outcomes, and the pattern strengthens unless it is intentionally broken. Monitoring spirits prefer shoes because shoes travel. They move from place to place, carrying information spiritually. This is why some people feel watched or followed spiritually without seeing anything physically present. The monitoring is not attached directly to the body, but to the movement path itself. Pause for a moment and think carefully. How many pairs of shoes do you own whose history you do not fully know? How many were gifts? How many were borrowed? How many were worn through difficult or painful seasons? This is not meant to create anxiety. It is meant to create awareness. Awareness is power. Once you understand how interference enters, you stop blaming yourself unnecessarily. You realize that progress can be blocked without you doing anything wrong. And now that you can identify the source, you are ready to recognize the signs and reclaim control of your movement. This is where it becomes deeply personal, because signs do not lie. You may have ignored them for years, explained them away, or blamed yourself for them. But signs are messages asking for attention. When shoes are spiritually interfered with, the first thing affected is consistency. You start strong, but something always interrupts your flow before results can settle. One clear sign is working hard without retention. Money comes in, but it does not stay. Opportunities appear, but they do not last. You take one step forward and 2 steps backward, and it feels like you are constantly restarting life. This is not because you are careless or irresponsible. It is because your movement has become unstable spiritually. Another sign is repeated delay. At the final stage, you reach the interview point, the approval point, the breakthrough moment, and suddenly something shifts. Silence replaces communication. Excuses replace promises. You are told to wait, but waiting turns into nothing. When this pattern repeats, it is not natural. It is not random. It is a signal that something is interfering with your steps. You may also notice unexplained tiredness whenever you need to step out for something important. Not ordinary tiredness, but a heaviness that makes movement feel like a burden. You prepare mentally, but your body resists. Motivation drops suddenly without reason. This is often a sign that something is resisting your movement. Dreams can also reveal this issue. If you repeatedly dream of walking endlessly without arriving, losing your shoes, wearing torn shoes, or being barefoot in unfamiliar places, your spirit is communicating a blockage in movement. Dreams speak in symbols, and shoes are a strong symbol of direction, readiness, and authority. Another sign is being consistently overlooked. You qualify, you apply, you show up, yet you are ignored while others with less effort move ahead. This hurts deeply, especially when you know your capacity. This is not always favoritism or chance. Sometimes it is spiritual interference affecting how you are perceived when you arrive in spaces meant to recognize you. Some people experience confusion about direction. You change plans often. You begin many things but complete very few. You feel uncertain about where to focus your energy. This is not because you lack discipline. It is because movement clarity has been disrupted, creating internal restlessness. You may also feel resistance whenever you step into something new. New environments feel uncomfortable. New opportunities feel heavy instead of exciting. You feel spiritually exposed rather than supported. This often points to contamination being carried into new spaces through your movement. Another sign is repeated setbacks connected to specific shoes. You may not have consciously noticed it, but certain shoes seem linked to negative outcomes. Every time you wear them, something goes wrong. This is not superstition. It is pattern recognition. Hear this clearly and without confusion. These signs do not mean you are weak. They do not mean you have been abandoned. They do not mean your prayers are ineffective. They mean something external interfered with your steps, and interference can be removed. If you recognize yourself in even a few of these signs, do not panic. You are not late. You are precisely on time. Awareness always comes first, and correction follows awareness naturally. Now we move carefully because this part is about action, not fear. Stay calm as you read, because what you are about to do is simple, intentional, and powerful. There is no rush. There is no panic. Restoration does not require drama. It requires understanding and obedience to clear steps. The first step is selecting the right shoes. Do not gather every pair you own. Choose the shoes you wear most often, the ones you use for work, interviews, meetings, travel, business, worship, or important outings. These are the shoes that carry your daily movement and are most likely to have absorbed interference. Once you select them, do not clean them yet. Do not wash them with soap. Do not spray fragrances. We are not dealing with physical dirt first. We are addressing spiritual attachments. Take those shoes and place them outside your main door. Outside represents separation. You are symbolically declaring that whatever does not belong to your journey must remain outside. Next, prepare the water. Use clean water in a bowl. Add salt. If you have sea salt, use it, as it carries strong cleansing properties. If not, regular salt will still work. As you add the salt, do it slowly and with intention. This is not about quantity. It is about awareness and purpose. Before sprinkling the water, stand still for a moment. Do not rush. This pause is important because it signals intention and authority. Then sprinkle the salt water lightly inside the shoes and underneath them. Do not soak them. Do not flood them. Light sprinkling is enough. The goal is to break attachments, not to damage the shoes. As you sprinkle, speak clearly. Do not whisper. Do not shout. Speak with calm authority. Say words like every evil attachment, every negative spell, every monitoring presence attached to my movement and my journey. I command you to be destroyed. Words matter. Silence weakens intention. Speaking activates release. After this, leave the shoes outside overnight. Night represents exposure. While you rest, what was hidden is being dealt with. Do not bring the shoes back inside before morning. Do not check on them repeatedly. Trust the process. Interference loses power when it is exposed without resistance. In the morning, before wearing them, take the shoes and knock them together 3 times. This action is intentional. It represents breaking agreements made without your knowledge. It symbolizes disconnecting paths that were never meant to merge with yours. After knocking them together, bring the shoes back inside. Do not overanalyze how you feel immediately. Some changes are subtle, others are sudden. What matters is that your movement has been reset. Your steps have been corrected. One important instruction now. If possible, do not wear the shoes immediately for something heavy or stressful. Let your first steps after cleansing be calm and intentional, even if it is simply stepping outside peacefully. Movement after cleansing should be deliberate. As you complete this process, understand this clearly. You are not fighting people. You are not accusing anyone. You are reclaiming your movement and your authority. Now that the interference has been addressed, adjust your expectations. Restored movement can feel unfamiliar at first. When blockage lifts, flow often begins quietly before becoming visible. Do not ignore small changes. Small shifts are evidence that alignment has begun. Peace in decision-making, clarity in thought, and calm confidence are early signs that your steps are being reordered. Every hidden agreement attached to your steps is broken. Every delay placed on your journey is lifted. Every resistance standing between you and progress is removed. You are no longer walking into invisible barriers. Your steps are no longer being monitored. You are moving with permission again. You may notice people responding differently to you. Messages that once delayed may arrive quickly. Calls that never came before may start coming through. Opportunities will no longer require chasing or begging. When movement aligns, attraction replaces struggle. Pressure eases. Doors respond naturally. Clarity returns. Confusion fades. You will recognize what to pursue and what to release.